בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ. בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. השמיים ואת הארץ. בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. Try singing along with us. Do 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 do.
Ha'am ha'holchim b'choshech ra'u or gadol. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. In the past week, some have known sorrow or disappointment, and for some the future looks far from bright. Let this Sabbath be an oasis of quietness. To the lonely may it bring companionship, to the sorrowing comfort, to the dispirited courage, to all of us peace of mind and hope for the future.
מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Shabbat shalom to you all.
Shabbat shalom.
Please be seated.
There are days when we seek material things and measure failure by what we do not own.
On the Sabbath we wish not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature with reckless greed.
On the Sabbath we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we think only of ourselves.
On the Sabbath we open our hearts to the needs and rights of others. Eternal One reigns in grandeur robed.
Robed and girded with strength.
The world stands firm.
It shall not be moved.
Your throne is established from of old.
For you are everlasting.
The oceans roar, eternal God. The thundering oceans roar.
The thundering oceans rage.
Yet greater than the roaring waves, mightier than the breaking seas.
You stand supreme on high.
Sure are the proofs of your power, O God.
And holiness adorns your house forever.
Please rise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Praise the one to whom our praise is due.
We
praise the Eternal One, to whom our praise is due forever. Please be seated.
Together, we praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening full.
Ahavat olam, ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, ahavta Torah u'mitzvot, chugim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata, Hakein Adonai Eloheinu,
L'shoch beinu.
Uvakomeinu nasiya, b'chokecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem hayenu ve'orech yameinu, u'vahem nageh yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatacha al tasur mimenu, al tasur mimenu, le'olamim, le'olamim, le'olamim.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Va'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol ma'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavacha hayom, al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'aderech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha. U'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'sharecha.
Lama tizkaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotan, v'yitem kadoshim le'olechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, li'ot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Please be seated.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt, forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
Mi hamocha belim Adonai, mi hamocha neda b'kodesh, norah tehilot dosef elem, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
V'ne'emar, ki fada Adonai et Yaakov u'ga'alo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufroz aleinu sukat shalomecha, v'tachnenu b'tzat tova milavanecha, v'hoshiyenu l'man shemecha, v'hagin ba'adenu, v'hasem me'aleinu, oyev devet, v'cherev ra'av v'yagod, v'hahei bimenu, avon v'avesha, u'b'tzel kanafecha, tastirenu, ki el sharenu, u'mahatzilenu ata, ki el melech anu b'rachum ata, u'shkamot zeitenu u'vo'en, l'chaim u'l'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Va'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel. Please rise. Eternal God, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imachot, Umevi Geula Livnei v'Nehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'achava, Melech Hoseh u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Machayei metim atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hageshem, Mazriach hashemesh u'morid hatal, Machalkel chaim b'chesed, Machayei metim b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, U'matir asurim, U'makayem emunato l'shenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, U'mido melach, Melech meimit u'machayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'hachayot metim, Baruch ata Adonai, Machayeh hametim. Kadosh ata v'norav shemecha, Ve'ein lanu alewa mi baladecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
Shalom alei Israel, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורות המרית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
And together at the top of page 100. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'ahava tukabel, u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha, v'yira na'avod. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu, le'olam va'ed. Tzor chayenu magen ishenu, ata hu l'dor v'dor. Nodeh lecha u'nesaper tehilatecha, al chayenu hamasurim biyadecha, v'al nishmotenu habakodot lach, v'al nesecha shebechol yom imanu, v'al niflotecha v'tovotecha, shebechol eit erev v'voker v'tzoharaim. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, u'lecha na'er lehodot. We continue. Supreme source of peace, grant true and lasting peace to your people, Israel. For it is good in your sight that your people, Israel, and all peoples may be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. As we were praying for peace, I felt the incredible nature of praying for peace together with actually a very international congregation in the sanctuary, but also it seems a bit bonkers tonight with everybody joining us as well, and maybe for the first times, I'm not sure, from Greece and Kenya. Not that we haven't had people from Greece and Kenya, but I think you're maybe joining us for the first time, so welcome. But also good friends, Tina and many others, joining us as part of the Ark congregation from various different locations. I'm sometimes guilty of not introducing those who are leading the service with us. This week I had paused to reflect on my relationship with Michael Gordon, who is going to be preaching tonight. I realized that he possibly knew me before I knew him.
Yes.
I'm not saying the difference in age is that significant, but it's a little bit significant enough that he knew me properly as a toddler. And our lives, our family lives and community lives, those between ourselves and also the Ealing Liberal Synagogue as well, have been intertwined over many, many years. It is wonderful when we have lay members of our congregation coming and leading the service with us as rabbis, and also to preach as well, which I admit gives us a night off. Michael.
The parasha tomorrow features Moses continuing his speeches to the Israelites. And Moses raises important ethical considerations in these speeches to the people before they enter the land of Israel and before he goes on to die at Mount Nebo. Moses focuses on the past, but also worries about the future. He foresees a time when the Israelites will be comfortable, prosperous, and secure in their land. They will have defeated all their enemies and will be enjoying a flourishing economy. He wonders what the state of their spiritual health will be in such a future era of victory and abundance. Unsure of what they will choose to do, Moses presents them with 4 guidelines. 1, remember the hardships of your past and how you were tested for 40 years in the desert to teach you that human beings do not live on bread alone, but on what God commands. 2, God is bringing you into a good land where you will lack nothing. When you have eaten your fill, give thanks to Adonai your God for the good land that has been given to you. 3, when you are satisfied, have built fine houses, and have increased your herds, gold and silver, beware of your heart growing haughty, of forgetting God's commandments, of saying, my power and the might of my own hand have won this wealth for me. And 4, after you have defeated your enemies and you occupy the land, do not say to yourselves, God has enabled me to occupy this land because of my virtues. Incidentally, Moses' concern in Guideline 2, to give thanks to God, was probably the catalyst that led the rabbis of the Great Assembly in Jerusalem to create the Birkat Hamazon, or grace after meals. Moses felt that if the people always pronounced blessings of thanksgiving when eating, and acknowledging God with words of gratitude when enjoying the fruits of the land, they would not become smug and arrogant. Moses, according to the Talmud, compares eating and drinking without reciting a prayer of thanks to stealing. Rabbis Nachman and Yochanan connect stealing with God to forgetting and denying God. Surrounded by abundance, the people would grow arrogant and deny God's claim on them. Such forgetting will lead to abandoning both their moral and ritual traditions. It will bring to an end the sacred society they are seeking to create. Moses also stresses the need to remember the events that brought about the Israelites' prosperity. Remembering is an antidote to arrogance. Self-congratulations are always a dangerous temptation. So Moses warns the people to recall their history and thus cool their pride by remembering that it was God who liberated them from Egypt and sustained them when they were helpless and hungry. Such recollections, precisely at the moment of celebration, place pride into perspective, maintains Nachmanides. They moderate human claims to glory and the dangers of self-centered flattery. History humbles human beings. It prevents arrogant assumptions about human power by setting victories and defeats into the larger and more mysterious context of all life. Arrogance and complacency often lead a person away from following God's commandments. This process of moving away is often gradual, almost imperceptible in its progress, writes Rabbi Alzech. It begins by observing the commandments with the expectation of some material reward. Next, one eats without giving thanks or credit to God. Finally, one takes the credit for successes and bounty, and then rejects God and turns to idol worship. Moses, says Alzech, understood these dangers, and this explains his guidelines to the people. Commentator Nechama Leibovitz points out that in blindness, human beings tend to detect the guiding hand of God only when it is visible in miracles, as had been the case with Israel during the whole of their progress through the wilderness. They fail to see the hidden miracles performed for them continually, even when the world around them seems to be going on as usual. The Israelites, then, should not be blind, but retain their sense of awe about the world and their unique history. Recollection of visible miracles, concludes Leibovitz, is designed to open our eyes to the hidden ones that are the foundation of the whole Torah, to awaken our faith in the direct intervention of God. Arrogance and pride are dangers that lead to moral insensitivity, corruption, and the denial of God. The antidote to arrogance is both gratitude and the power of recollection. An appreciation of history puts all human accomplishments into perspective. It roots us in gratitude and a sense of obligation for the gifts of God. Moses' words were directed at a people living some 4,000 years ago, but we must realize that they are universal truths. Most of us here have grown up in this country where life is not as hard as it might be, where we've mostly been tolerated and permitted to build decent, sometimes outstandingly successful lives. Our achievements, and many of us, have shown enormous flair and industry, should not lead us to forget our past or to underestimate whatever has enabled us to accomplish them, whether we consider it to be God, circumstances, or whatever. Arrogance, ingratitude, and overconfidence, especially still dwelling as we do in the shadow of the Shoah, are unforgivable. Let us remember our history, be humble and grateful for the bounties we enjoy, and so continue to merit the favors we are fortunate enough to enjoy. Shabbat Shalom.
Shikoyach. Thank you very much indeed, Michael, for such superb thoughts. And if there were anybody in this congregation who were less arrogant or proud as well, the perfect person to deliver that this evening as well, by practice, not just by word. Let us now turn to our concluding prayers on page 520. Page 520, and if you would please rise. And together, Aleinu l'shabech la'adon hakol, la'teit gdula liyotzeh bereshit, asher sam chelkenu liached et shemo, v'gor aleinu lahamlich malchuto. Spread out the heavens and establish the earth, whose glory fills the highest heavens, whose might extends throughout all space, who alone is our God, for no other exists, who in truth is our sovereign, for there is none else. As it is written, know then this day and take it to heart. The Eternal One is God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is no other. On this Shabbat, we are saddened to announce the deaths this week of Dunya Burford, the wife of Brian and mother of Danny Evis and Mandy Parker, and also of Esther Aronsfeld, a former member of this community who sadly died this week after a short illness. We also commemorate the yard sites in our community of Maureen Hart, the mother of Lawrence, Luana, and Naomi. Henrietta Clifford, the mother of Brenda Newman and grandmother of Lara Kilty. Mary Hill, the mother of Stan and mother-in-law of Barbara. Gigi Keynes, the mother of Barbara Conn. Marlene Minton, the mother of Howard. David Howard Berman, the husband of Barbara and father of Andrew and Matthew. Mark McEllis, father of John and Ruth Goldstein, father-in-law of Judy and grandfather and great-grandfather. And Josefa Hassa, the grandmother of Jutta Hassa Schultz. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories remain with us as a blessing. As we say together, Yitgadal Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Yalma Divrach Yerutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalau V'zman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mavarach Le'olam Ulalnei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ah V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitader V'yitalei V'yitalal Shemei D'Kudeshah B'richu, Le'ela Minko Birchata V'shirata, Tushbachata V'nechemata, Da'amiran Ba'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'yal Kol B'nei Adam, V'imru Amen. Please be seated. We have, for those of you who are joining us online, please do join our Kiddush Zoom room, which you can now find the link for at the bottom of your screen. Tomorrow morning, we have student Rabbi Andrea Kulikowski joining me in the sanctuary. And again, we celebrate Havdalah all together. For anybody who wishes to have some wonderful company on a Saturday evening, then please do join us 5 p.m. throughout the year. And if you need details, please do let me know. On Thursday, we have our summer outing to the Chilterns Museum. So please, if you want to join us of all ages, please let us know. We've got a whole load of young families joining us as well. It's a whole multi-generational outing. So do join us and let me know if you need some help booking in. Next Shabbat, we have a slightly special one because it is an 80th and a 75th birthday combined blessing of Mum and Dad, otherwise known as Emeritus Rabbi Dr. Andrew Goldstein and Sharon Goldstein. Please do join us for some beautiful services and rather more rabbis than usual, even here. I mean, we've normally got at least 2 or 3 around anyway, but we've got a whole rabble of rabbis joining us. So beautiful services. Feel free to join us online, but also come in and celebrate and a beautiful Kiddush as well on the Saturday morning. Lots of regular things going on as well, but just to look forward slightly, as well this Thursday, we do have a blood donor session within the synagogue as well. So if you are able to donate blood, and please do book in the normal way. And also on the 17th of August, an opportunity for positive poetry, a time for people just to come together when they need it, just to be able to celebrate quietly together some positive thoughts if we need it within our lives. That following weekend, not the next one, but the one after as well, Judy and I are going to be, when we have the time, thinking about putting together some creative services and readings for a very special Shabbat of the year, the New Year for Animals. You're not allowed your animals in the sanctuary for the services, but you are for Havdalah on a Saturday night, not in the sanctuary, but out the back of the synagogue. So we're going to be having a very special Havdalah that evening as well. So lots for us all to look forward to in the future. But for now, just concluding the service with our wonderful choir this evening, and all together as a congregation, singing Yigdal, that you can find on page 526, or just on your screens before you join our Kiddush Zoom room.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא בהנתר מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייעודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף ליהדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו בקדושתו, כמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אנשי סגולתו ותיבתו, לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא, ומביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן והמוהל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יכל לפעל ולא ימיתתו, לעולם לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו, גומל איש חסד כמבעלו, נותן לרשע רב כרישתו, ישפוט לקץ ימים על כל בשר רוחו, לבדוק מחר כקץ ישועתו, חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך הדיין כתהילתו.
Please rise. We began our service stating that in the past week some may have known sorrow or disappointment, and for some the future may have looked far from bright. But as we said, we hope that this Sabbath has been an oasis of quietness for us all. And so we hope that for anyone who has felt lonely, we may have brought companionship, for the sorrowing, comfort, and spirited courage. And for all of us, we hope this Sabbath service has brought us peace of mind, of heart, and of hope for the future. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Amen.